I don't hear anyone talking about the gut anymore.
What are they talking about?
Like, I'm wondering if everybody healed their gut.
You're
like, did
talking
America
the last
heal?
6 months then?
Yeah, in the last 6 months to
Maybe.
even up to a year.
So I hear from women all the time saying, what can I do about my gut?
I just don't hear about it on every podcast, on every...
Yeah, there was a big thing. And I think people gave out a lot of good information. I think a lot of people are implementing that.
And I use the gut stuff as an example because you said, well, they've probably got the information now and they've implemented it. And this is my point. I don't think we implement 3/4 or maybe even more of what we know.
Do you feel like we live in a world where there's such a massive amount of information? First of all, you have to choose who to believe, what to believe, and then think about, could I do this in my life?
Okay,
and
but
sometimes we're in information overload because it's coming at us in all the different ways.
There are people who have vetted their sources of information and they believe the information. And they're like, I've come to the altar call of that information. Like, okay, that's true. This is The Poddy with Serene
And Pearl.
Get it right, Poddy.
Hey, thanks for checking in with us at the Trim Healthy Podcast. Yeah, we started.
Thank you for wearing, dressing up with the hole in your jeans. I don't mind the pink shirt though, so I'm
No, I
giving
hate
you
the
a
pink shirt.
C on the jeans and an A on the shirt.
When I ride in on my hog, I need to come aggressive.
What's wrong with me? Because I give him an A+ on the jeans and an F on the shirt.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I must like
you
the
like
bad
a
guy
holy
jeans.
jeans.
I don't know. It's just that the jeans don't bother me at all. They're great.
She's into aggression.
Yeah.
She does like a bad boy.
Bad boy. Yeah, it's like bad
No,
boy.
I don't like a bad
frickin'
boy.
scientist.
I like a bad boy who is so good. And the only reason he's good
Okay.
is he could be bad. But
He's
not
capable.
bad. He's capable of being bad, but he's never bad. That's a good boy.
Oh, strength under control. That's called
Yeah.
meekness.
Yeah.
Blessed are the meek, for they shall
I don't
inherit
want a
serene.
good boy that ain't got no temptation and nothing.
Yeah,
He's just, that's not good. He's just born like,
he's weak.
yeah, he's weak.
It's not good. It's weak.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
All
like
right,
Jordan
this
Peterson.
has gone to an interesting start.
Hey, I got some question. Soup.
Yeah. Oh, good, because I was about to tell you your grammar's all wrong.
Did you bring your spoon? So I heard this. Now, for those of you listening, this is nothing to plan your life around. This is anecdotal at best. It was an internet person. I don't remember who. Actually, my wife shared with me, and she said she'll send me the link, and she hasn't yet. Here goes. The idea is, what she said was, cancer for older people, not childhood cancer, but older people who are not predisposed to it. It's not environmental, but they get cancer, only comes from two places. Again, not my claim, internet people's claims.
Mm-hmm.
She said the two places are alcohol from drinking too much and from like nitrites in meat. Thoughts?
I would say F.
Yeah, I would give that an F from that internet
Oh, I
person.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying F.
Oh, F it. No, she
No,
wasn't
I'd
saying-
give it a failure. Like, I wouldn't go with that. No, the F word doesn't even enter my head. Like, if I say F, it's never the F word. I didn't grow up with it. I don't even know it.
It doesn't
Like-
enter your mind.
No, it doesn't enter my mind.
Can I confess?
Yeah, we know it enters your mind.
No,
Danny.
it's the only one.
Okay. Okay, good.
No,
Well, you grew up
there-
in the hood in Memphis.
There's a second
But
one.
you're a real good man, see? Because the temptation comes to use it, and I've never heard you use it.
No, I scream whisper it in my garage
Oh,
sometimes.
well, then you're a bad man.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
You ever scream whisper your
This is why
your
I
stuff?
reason. Just this is why
Yeah, go.
I think that that's an F.
Hit it.
First of all, I just think there's a whole lot worse than nitrites out there. Let's start with sugar. You know?
Why don't we?
Why are we going to the fancy names?
What? Because the actual research behind sugar giving rise to what we're not like belittling sugarcane, but sugar gives rise to high blood sugar. So it's not sugar on its own, it's that it gives rise to high blood sugar in our bodies. Now, high blood sugar gives rise to every single disease known to man, pretty much.
Yes, and can I say something about the alcohol?
It's your podcast.
First of all, I'm not a teetotaler. But I only can drink 3 millimeters of my husband's wine. I like to taste it. So I'm not a teetotaler. I believe in wine, nice wine. I think it's very healthy in moderation, but I'm not saying this to excuse my special like extravagance or anything. It's just that I really like it. But I'm not excusing the behavior, but let's say generations back in Scotland where they lived on the whiskey to keep themselves warm at night. when their wife left them.
There wasn't being epidemics of cancer back
not like there is today.
3,000 years ago, even in biblical times when they were doing quite a bit of wine drinking. Thank you very much.
Yep,
It wasn't rampantizing such a word, cancer.
I wonder if there's a difference in ancient wine made from food, grapes, and like whiskey and vodka and heavy.
No, because
hard.
Scotland was raised on whiskey.
The monks made all those strong drinks. Here's the deal. I went to Italy a few years ago, and we went into a winery, and it was in a cave, and the same winery had been there for thousands of years, and they were still making it in the same way. Yes, wine's made in California. They had some sulfites and stuff, but they're pretty clean over there too. It's not the wine, people.
Yeah.
Now, if you're an alcoholic, it's ruining your liver. If you drink too much, yes, there's problems, but it's not the wine. I'm telling you what it is. This internet person should have said 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
1, sugar. 2, all the toxins and freaky ingredients in the foods.
Yeah.
3, not enough of the good stuff because they're filling it
100%.
with the other stuff. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The goat roughage. Man, that was a good tear. I really felt...
She's panting a little bit.
yeah, I felt an eminence. I felt like a pulse of energy.
No, because they got it so wrong. You know, I'm
Yeah.
not truly a dogmatic person, but I felt like the dogma.
Well, do you know what? It's the
rising.
dogma.
Yeah.
Do you know
The
what
old
rises
preacher.
In, Do you know what rises in me?
What is it?
When they say, you know, what's really wrecking your gut is not the sugar, and it's not the over antibiotic use, and it's not all the fact that you don't have any probiotic or prebiotic or fiber or anything for men.
Oh, no. It's the phytates. That's what's ruining your gut. It's the whole grain around the rice. It's the whole grain in the oat.
It's the saponins and the quinoa, the
Baloney.
oxalates and the spinach.
I
So
mean,
this is real. This is what hurts people's guts?
no,
Yeah,
that's
they
what
can't
they
talk about it.
say.
They
It
get too
hurts
annoyed.
people.
Let's
This
move
is the latest
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
that we're kind of up against, you know, that it's
And
all
those
these
things
other
actually
things.
aren't fantastic for people who have already wrecked their gut. They're brilliant for people who have been balanced. See what I'm trying to say? You only have problems with foods like that when you've already destroyed your gut on basically the 3 things Pearl listed.
Yeah, so now you can't handle stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, I would say that, you know, we had Joel Green, the author of The Way, and he's an incredible, I would call him a food historian, you know, and he talks about saponins and oxalates and phytates and all these things
How they're
that
good
are
for you.
Yeah, there's so many things in them that are actually cancer fighting. Yes, they're a little hard on the gut sometimes, as Serene
Well, he
said, when
said-
we've already ruined our gut.
Well, the gut becomes a filter for the bad parts in them. And if you've ruined your gut already, then, you know.
But how do you get back a good gut? I
he
mean,
said actually take them in small amounts
Yeah.
until you build up tolerance again.
What's crazy is I don't hear anyone talking about the gut anymore, and it could be that.
What?
Yeah,
Where have you been?
I've been on the internet
what are they talking about?
lurking about. Well, it's almost like it came in a wave, and like I'm wondering if everybody healed their gut.
You're
Like, did
talking
America
the last
heal?
6 months then?
Yeah, in the last 6 months to
Maybe.
even up to a year,
Okay, I haven't been on the
I think
internet.
America healed its gut.
Or they just got onto other tangents?
No,
think that's
I
the-
really wonder if
Because I hear from women all the time saying, what can I do about my gut?
okay, so
They're
I
just
healed my
on to
gut.
different tangents. What's the tangent like?
Well, you know,
Nitrates.
I just don't hear about it on every podcast, on every.
yeah, there was a big thing. And I think people gave out a lot of good information. I think a lot of people are implementing that
Well, we'll
information
talk about
too.
that, won't we?
Yeah, but yeah,
little bit
I mean,
later
in
when
our
we
book,
bring
we've got
meat.
our forthcoming book, which we always
Are
talk
we
about
bringing the
here.
meat on this
Yes,
one?
we've got meat.
Well,
Let's
can
start
we
on the
implement
meat.
it right now? Because you were saying a lot of people have that information, and you were like, well, they're probably implementing it. I beg to differ.
Ooh, that's an interesting way of starting this
Yes,
whole meat
this-
thing, because you're starting in a kind of a accusatory tone.
I feel like you're searing the steak, though.
Oh, let's not
I want
start
more.
that way.
No, butter
Wanna
it and
start
sear it.
gentle.
No,
you know?
butter, salt, pepper, high heat,
Let's go.
sear it for 1 minute.
Okay, well, you know, I just think that America is very satiated, and I'm not talking food, I'm not talking calories.
You're talking about culture, not necessarily America, because we've got Australians and New Zealanders
I'm
and
talking Western society.
Londoners.
You know, I'm talking everywhere, actually.
I mean us.
I'm just talking the world is satiated with. I don't really want to say knowledge because it's a very sticky
No,
subject.
I
'Cause
like
I don't
this.
know if you really have knowledge if you haven't if you're not using it.
Call it
But
knowledge.
But
Data.
like head
Call it
data.
data.
Data is,
Yeah.
that's brilliant.
No, I'm with you. I already am here.
Yeah.
Go.
So we are flooded with data. There's so much information in our heads. We know it. People know how to fix their gut. They've heard it. They've heard about the microbiome. They've heard about it, all the fermented stuff. They've heard. But this is what I want to encourage us in. This is where I'm going to be sweet because I'm talking to myself here. What are we doing with all of the data in our heads? What?
Are you specifically referring to gut stuff here?
No. I said just the data on everything. I use the gut stuff as an example because you said, well, they've probably got the information now and they've implemented it. And this is my point. I don't think we implement I don't think we implement 3/4 or maybe even more of what we know. I think implementation is a modern problem. Implementation.
But do you feel like we live in a world where there's such a massive amount of information? First of all, you have to choose who to believe, what to believe, and then think about, could I do this in my life?
Okay,
And
but
sometimes we're in information overload because it's coming at us in all the different ways.
Yeah, but I don't want to be nice in that area.
I believe you too. That's who I believe.
I think
Okay.
you can
Well,
go
then
and
let's-
find your people
Okay.
that you believe.
Yeah.
All right?
You can go and vet the source.
Yeah.
There are people who have vetted their sources of information and they believe the information. And they're like, I've come to the altar call of that information. Like, okay, that's truth. But they're still not doing anything about it. And I'm just trying to say, let's talk. Let's talk into the trenches. Let's talk practical. Let's talk to me, myself here. What are some things we can put in place so that we are becomers, that we are becoming the information, not just data storage?
What you said reinforces something that I believe that you have previously disagreed with, and I want to see if you still maintain your position. That people come to the internet or any screen for entertainment first. If they're not implementing, okay, they think they're here for education. They think they're here to learn and change their life. But if 3/4 are not implementing, what are they really here for? Even if they believe they're here for education.
No, I mean 3/4 of their information that they pick up.
I don't know, Dan. I still kind of disagree with
I
you a
do
little
too.
bit because we're not that entertaining. We might think we're entertaining, and some people think we're entertaining.
Most people don't.
We're not that entertaining that people come back and listen just because they want to hear what Pearl or Danny or Serene says. And, you know, how does Pearl put her arm up on the...
Danny begs to differ.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think we're that entertaining because people have stinking busy lives. They come here because they want to grab something for their life. And when they get through the rabbit trails, we often bring something, right? And so they trust us. And I feel that Serene's more right than you, Danny.
Here's the thing, though.
because they hear us. Let's just say we're the sources they trust. They hear us, and I'm going to let you speak in
Yeah,
a
it's
sec.
about to be the view here.
Yeah, they hear us as I hear other people. And a lot of people implement, as Serene said, but I do believe that we should talk about becoming. Because when we maybe go to the cafe or just talk to people that are doing our plan and stuff, they're like, I know it. I know what.
They have assigned
I
the
know
8
what to
books.
do.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I just
Like the ones that we've written and the ones that they've written about what we've written, like their journals. You know,
Some side
the
books.
data is there in their heads.
So I do think we need to talk about becoming, not just putting the knowledge in our head.
Well, lest we be disqualified for the prize. I mean, this is an ancient common problem, is to listen to information, and it's like a beautiful song to our ears. And I'm not saying we as personalities are entertaining.
Oh.
I'm saying that for some people, I wonder if this is their favorite subject or this is where they're at in their life. And so we are talking about that subject and bringing things to learn, but is it a beautiful song? Is it a nice ditty? Or do they hit the stop button on the podcast and, like, if we're talking about working out, they've got weights at home or they've got a gym membership? Or is it like, that's nice, one day I'll work out? The end.
Right.
That's what I'm wondering.
I'll give you credence for that.
Yes,
I kind of
I
agree.
totally give you credence for that. I can see
Credence.
it. It's almost like, okay, it's my favorite
credence
subject because
I don't know.
I believe in it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I believe in health. I believe people should get healthy.
So it's
This
nice
is what
to
they
listen
say.
to
But,
this.
Yeah, but it's the easy part. Okay, it's the part of the subject that's easy. You sit there or you do whatever you do, your errands or whatever, and you're listening or you're reading. getting in the information, I think, is the fun part.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
well
the
then
easy
I got to get really serious right now. I'm going to talk to the camera.
Oh my, this is his favorite moment of the whole Poddy.
If you're not implementing what we're saying, you're going to die. Okay? You're going to die. We're all going to die one day, okay? Okay? And people are like, "Oh, we're all going." That's what they say. Excuse me. That's what they say. "Oh, we're all going to die." Yeah. But listen, sweetie. We're talking about potentially the last 20 years of your life is dying.
Okay. Hey, we're probably cutting you off right here, and also he had a double shot of espresso. Never allow that. He's done.
No, he was upset because we said that they don't come for entertainment, so he was going to bring it, so he was worth his wage. You know what I mean?
Look at him. He stormed off because he's a diva in the pink shirt, and we cut him off.
No, but it's so true though, because and I'm talking to myself here because there's so many.
So we just let that. We'll just let go. We'll just keep going.
No, we just keep going.
Okay,
There's
yeah.
just there's areas of my life too that I want to be a becomer, not just a storer of knowledge.
Yeah.
And so I want to talk amongst ourselves. I want to open up. I don't have all of the information, but like on the subject, like the micro habits we can do. But I want to bring it so we can all kind of like encourage each other and bring new, fresh ideas. But I want to say, let's stop just storing the data. Let's try on the knowledge like a shirt. Try it on.
No, I
Like
think
actually put it on and then see where we have to nip and tuck it for our own personal life.
Yeah. Yes, you take it in. I think what you're saying is good, Serene, and I think this is the becoming Poddy, right?
Yeah.
And it's about time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're listened in, I mean, this is a bit of tough love in this Poddy, but it's good. We give you lots of kind love and sometimes tough love, but I would think two things come to mind, Serene, when you say becoming, and I think to myself, because I'm practical, how do I become? I mean, it's all nice to say, let's be becomers.
Well, I'm going to talk really straight to the camera.
Okay. Oh, your turn now.
No, I'm
Which
not gonna-
camera? That one.
Okay, I'm talking straight to the camera. No, this is meaner than Danny's, okay? This is all for all our haters.
Oh, what? I thought we got rid of them.
Well, just in case you're
No, they're here.
one left.
And they're lurking.
I just want to say
They came back. They came back.
Actually, I'm not confrontational, so I can't do it.
Oh,
I can't
do it.
No. What I would like to say is,
Look at you smiling.
If you have listened.
Pathetic.
No, I don't have any
Pathetic.
anger in my heart. I
You don't
don't
have to be
any-
angry.
I'm not riled up. I just want to say.
But do you want to emphasize your point or
if
not?
you have listened to this Poddy
Yeah.
for all this time since we have talked about resistance training,
Okay.
Oh.
just take some inner soul searching. Have you implemented? I don't care if your dumbbells are 1 pound or if you can't even get there yet and you're just using your own body weight. That's enough resistance. And you're just finding exercises where you're using your own body weight as resistance. Have you begun? That's what I want to say. Has it just been knowledge? And I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm talking to the ones who have listened to us for this whole time, not that you've just come on.
You're
the last
actually
month.
not talking to haters.
No, I'm not.
Talking to lovers.
I'm talking to lovers, but I don't want you to become haters by me saying this. And it's so awful. I'm
It's
not
not,
a
Serene. When you give
confrontational
me tough
person,
love
but-
in my own, I guess, personal journey, if you see something in my life, and we've even had parties about this, and you bring it to me, I love you more for it because I know it's coming out of love.
right? And I want Pearl. I want you to address things in my life, and you have. But I want to address you guys. Is it just knowledge? Because if it is, it's not doing a darn thing.
But isn't
Yeah.
it fair to say, if you don't do resistance training, you're going to suffer?
Can we get
Is
off
that
the
fair?
dying and suffering thing?
I'm just saying,
but
no.
yeah.
But look, that's the thing. Nobody wants to talk about it, but that's the end result if you don't do it, right?
I mean,
it's-
you are right, Danny. I guess in a way, your outlandish little thing that you did, there's truth to it because you said you're gonna die.
Yeah.
But the research shows that you actually die earlier when you don't do resistance training. You're right, Danny. You actually decline and die earlier than you should. And then whatever life you have is a weak life that gives rise to so many more diseases
here's
and
the
you
thing.
break a hip and die.
Here's the thing. What people say, what I used to say this is kind of why I guess I'm like being straight up, because I'm being straight up to myself too, is, there's like this, we can't be afraid of such things. And it's like, but we kind of are afraid of the pain of resistance training and diet modification. Like we're already, like the thing that held me back from making a lot of changes in my life health-wise was actually fear. And it was just this kind of head in the sand type of approach to life, like just keep not looking at it. And I've been helped by people talking really straight, like, hey man, this is not like, at our age, this is no longer like, who are the cool kids who are hitting the gym? You know, it's more about like, who's really like taking care of life and death matters.
Yeah.
It's true, Danny.
And I want
Yeah.
to say, like,
Right.
so I had a struggle with the word knowledge at the beginning because I just really want to call it information and data, because I wonder if you can really have knowledge if you don't have a true knowing, because I don't think you can have a true knowing unless you have experience. And I don't think you can have wisdom unless you've had experience. So, well, let's take that data and make it experiential, make it wisdom in our life.
Well, you know, I was having a conversation with my son Rocky and his wife Mary the other day, and we were talking about. Sorry if you heard something in the background. It was just Serene's kids bowling things over. We were talking about how do you go from kind of self-motivation, like what we're saying right now, hey, you have to be a becomer. And some people might be sitting there and was like, okay, I have to get enough self-motivation and be a becomer. But we were talking about how do you live a disciplined life? Because my son Rocky, you know, talks about how he's always been a visionary, but a lot of what he didn't have was discipline. He gets up at 4 a.m. now and goes to the gym before work. And I'm like, that's tough. He's like, Mum, I'm made for tough things. And I'm like, but what motivated you to be, and I don't get up at 4 because I think that would be bad for my cortisol.
Right, we're not encouraging that for
But
women.
he's a young
yeah.
man and he's decided that's good for him.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm like, how do you live a disciplined life, Rocky? And he put the question back to me, you know, because he's like, Mum, I've watched you grow in so many areas too. How do you do it? But he said, he's like, there's certain things I don't want to be when I look around, Mum.
Yeah.
And I decide to be different. And so I'm going to have to live a disciplined life if I'm not going to succumb to all the things that I see other people drowning in.
Yeah.
Okay, he's like, I want to make money. I've got to get up. I've got to work hard. If I'm going to be successful, I've got to treat my body right. I'm going to get up and I'm going to work out. Because he said, what happens if I don't, Mum, is I just succumb. It's like, if you're not contending for something, you are declining. You're in decline.
It's kind of like the idea of choosing your hard or choosing your pain.
Yeah.
And I would much rather the hard and the pain of making these habits that actually end up being quite addictive and quite fun, and you get a dopamine hit and you get a high and you feel fantastic. And then when you're outside of those disciplined times, just walking around in life or even getting your time to relax on the couch, boy, do you enjoy it way, way more, because you know you deserve this time to sit. You know that you haven't become the couch yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so I don't know. I just feel like once you get to the other side of that discipline, you would never go back.
It's like coffee. You know, I used to, for many years of my life, over a decade probably, it's only been in the last 3 years that I've done this, I would get up and the first thing I would deserve was coffee, of course. Because, you know, you get up, you deserve coffee.
So the first thing I would deserve.
I mean, that was my right as a human, right? And I couldn't even say hello, just to go to the coffee pot.
I'm like, what's wrong with that?
Well, I found that there was something wrong with it. It was that I was not getting other things done because I was feeling entitled. So now I have to drink. I fill up my quart jar with water. And I don't get coffee until I've drinking the word. No, I have to be more than halfway. I have to be halfway or more. And then I start my coffee.
Okay.
But do you know what? My coffee is so much better of a reward. And I've already done something to deserve it. We shouldn't just get handed things to us, right? When we do things for them, we appreciate them so much more.
So true.
And when we're working, we're doing other blessings to our body. Like my body is blessed, far more blessed with 2 full 8-ounce cups of water before the coffee.
Yeah.
I'm hydrated. My cells are flushed. I just drink coffee. There's nothing wrong with coffee. It's full of antioxidants and stuff, but it's just not.
I put essential in that water.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, I've broken that fast through the night that could have put me in a catabolic state in the morning. And the first thing I've added is hydration with amino acids to get my body building.
I love that. So then, Rocky, you don't mind me sharing about myself for a little bit. And I'm not any standard of perfection, but I feel like come a long way. And I do feel like I'm living a life where I'm becoming.
Yes.
So Rocky said, well, Mum, I've watched you grow and I've watched you accomplish a lot of things. And I don't remember you being quite this way, you know, as a mum. I don't remember you getting up early and being disciplined and all that. But he said, well, what are the things that have caused you to become more of this person? And what came to my mind was two main things. You might have another, Serene. First is the benefits that come. Once you experience it, especially with weight training, resistance training, or of course the diet thing. I mean, you get healthy, your cells flourish.
Yes.
I mean, all of that. The benefits are just, and once I experience a certain benefit, I can't go back.
It's like a drug.
It's like, why would I go back to the old way? New is far more better. So benefits, like I don't want to go back to no muscle Pearl with my bones, you know, getting osteopenia about to break. Forget that. That's not me. The second thing was, and we've shared about this, but setting up your life with mini habits to make it happen. Yeah. So like with my coffee and water thing, my quart jar is there. My quart jar goes everywhere with me. My quart jar says to me, you are hydrated. And whenever it's empty, it gets filled. So, you know, I at least have 3 quarts, probably 4 quarts of water a day. But it's mini habits. That quart jar is there in the morning. My brain knows it, doesn't it? It's autopilot. I fill it up, I drink it, then I do my coffee. Yeah. You know, when are you going to do your workout? I mean, your shoes are there. I have my rebounders upstairs where I like to do it. My weights are right there where I know I'm going to. So I don't have to like get a whole bunch of self-discipline and let's go do it. No, my life is more set up to do that. And there's 2 great books, Atomic Habits and Mini Habits. Those are 2 different authors, but they were really helpful in my life.
Yeah, no, I love it. No, I think the same thing. I think when you make it a big deal, then it almost seems insurmountable. But when it's a little micro change, and to me, it's just a little stanza I say in my head. You know, it feels so like I ripped off a billion gazillion dollar business, but I just tell myself, just do it. Like immediately in my head, like be in the moment. Like I never concentrate on exercise before I do it. I never think about the countless hours that I'll be doing till 87, you know what I mean? Like, or 120 or however I get to live. I never think of like, I might have to plan for tomorrow's workout, but I never think about the pain or the struggle. Like it's just, I be in the moment with the exercise. I just, like Pearl says, I put on my exercise outfit first thing in the morning.
Yeah, that's real.
And so I know that at 10:30, I'm already dressed. The shoes are already on. It's just, I'm telling my mind all day that this is going to happen.
Can I say something?
It's your podcast.
I feel like woman and yoga pants have gotten such a bad rap, but I want to shout out to them.
I'm a big supporter
because, you
personally.
know, when you go to, I was at Sprouts the other day.
Hey, put a little hoodie around them if you want before you go to Kroger's.
If you don't want it, you know, if you feel like, you know.
No, hoodie off.
But
shake
all
what
I'm
your mom
saying
gave
is, I'm not talking about modesty here. I'm talking about, I was at Sprout. I had an early dental appointment. This was Monday, Serene. Yeah. And so I had,
yes, you did.
Yeah, so early. Oh, it's crazy. And it takes over an hour to get there. So I had to get up so early. I wasn't at Sprouts. I went to Trader Joe's and I was in Franklin,
great,
you know, Franklin, the rich area. Of course, where Danny lives. Yeah, I was at your Trader Joe's.
Yeah. Have you?
And I was there about 9:45 in the morning. Guess who was there? All the women in their yoga pants. But I looked at them and I thought, did they just wearing yoga pants or did they work out? No, they had flush faces. They'd just come from the gym and now they were in the yoga pants, but they put on their yoga pants early that morning and they made it happen, people.
Franklin is the new LA.
So let's stop like telling women not to wear yoga pants because it's causing them to be healthier.
I think they should all wear yoga pants. I like the little belly reveal before we get to the top.
But listen, okay, I'm cutting Danny off. But the deal is, though, it's just those little tiny micro steps, even like little subliminal steps too, you know, and also to set up time zones. I think that's the success that I always know pretty much I'm going to do my workout before lunch. Like before lunch, before the hunger hits at 11.
Before you get tired later on too.
Yeah. And there's sometimes in my life I've gotten the high and the feel good. Like I so know how I feel post exercise and how it sets me up for a wonderful evening. I just feel so accomplished and I just feel strong. I have more energy actually throughout the day, so that if I have to occasionally pull it off at 3:30, I've got enough motivation now I can. But for years I had to set it up so it was always just in the morning, right? And we've arranged our whole business around that. And Leslie Pops knows.
Yeah.
No meetings before 1 unless it's life and death, because I don't want to be going,
Nice.
you know.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
The only reason I'm not, this is off topic, but I just want to inject it here. Someone asked me the other day, she's been doing our Tribe Healthy workouts.
Yeah.
She's postmenopausal, 57.
Yes.
She's never done resistance training before.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have hormones, and all
Yeah.
she'd done before was working. So she went straight to my Push 25.
Yeah.
She said, Pearl, am I supposed to feel energized after a workout? I don't. She said, I feel so sore. It wipes me out.
Yeah.
She's like, what's wrong with me? And I remember, and I said, give yourself time, because I remember feeling that way, especially when I hadn't replaced my hormones. And if you're coming and you've never done strength training before, my Push 25
Yes.
is pretty intense,
Yeah.
honestly, even
It's
though
hard.
it's nothing like yours.
No, it's.
I
yeah.
said to her, maybe just start with our other program, which is 10 minutes cows,
Yeah.
Fit 10. Because I said right now, and you could tell me if I'm wrong, I said maybe you need to work up to that. I've only been lifting a year and a half,
Yeah.
and at first I did used to get wiped out.
Yeah, I definitely think that we should challenge ourselves, and I think maybe there will be like you don't want to do another rep,
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah.
tiredness, but you don't want to feel like a dying cockroach. Where
No.
you want to lay on the floor with just your little tentacles.
Yeah, but you're gonna
up,
at first, right?
Yeah, because some people
No,
they feel.
I think
well,
even at
Serene-
first we shouldn't push
Yeah,
ourselves.
but
that
no,
hard.
okay.
true. Go with lighter weights
That's
or
what I'm
something. But
saying.
after a workout, I think when you're first starting training, the first 6 months, even a year, you don't have to think, I'm going to feel energized after this workout. You're kind
Right.
of tired. When I walk down the stairs, my legs
No,
are
but I'm
shaking.
thinking the energy
Yep, yep.
comes 3
Yeah.
or 4 hours later.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say
Like you don't want to do another treadmill workout
Right.
afterwards. You're done.
No, you're done.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you're not going to feel like, oh, where's the Zumba class? Like
No.
right now.
No,
but
I
I just
mean,
think,
yeah.
I just think you'll notice as the day goes on, you've got more oxygen pulsing through
Yeah.
your body. You will maybe you'll have your afternoon coffee, but you may not.
But Serena, I need to ask you this though, because you're a fit person. Even before you started lifting, like 2 to 3 years ago, you were fit, always fitter than me. Remember that we're talking about someone who's only really walked, someone
Yeah.
who's postmenopausal.
That's why I'm saying do the 10 first. Don't
Yeah.
do the 25.
Are you agreeing with me?
I'm agreeing with you. I'm
She's
saying
not going to feel it, maybe not even invigorated 3 or 4 hours later, because her muscles are undergoing such
Oh,
a
I
big renovation at
Oh,
this
I
point.
100% agree.
I felt
Yeah.
nauseated when I first got
Yeah,
back into it.
yeah.
I mean, I was sick.
Yeah.
And I thought, so, remember when I was neurotic and like everything was cancer?
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember that.
So was that. I would work out and I would feel nauseated and be like, if I didn't have cancer, I wouldn't feel nauseated when I worked out. It was just like any attempt, because this was at the time when I was trying to like reinvent and like take control of my health and take control of my career and direction. And so everything was like, fear was such a big thing to overcome. And I don't feel anxiety anymore when I'm doing push-ups. Remember I told you that?
Yes,
I would do
so
push-ups
good.
and I'd get to 5 and I would just start to like feel like I needed to like protect myself from something and stop doing this.
Yeah.
It's weird how I think for a lot of people, they may not feel full on fight or flight when they start to work out. They may be conscious of it,
Yeah.
but I think most people, it is very subconscious, but it's still fight or flight. They're trying to break through.
Yeah.
And I actually, even though I really get a hit from exercise, I just love it. I want to be honest and say the first 10 minutes, 5 minutes are always a mental game. for me.
Always.
I'm saying certain things to my head. I'm just saying.
What are you saying?
I'm just saying, just do it. I'm saying, don't think about anything. Just move to the next. Move to the next. What's
Yes.
the next exercise? Like, don't think, Serene. Stop thinking.
Okay.
Because if I think too much, then I start thinking about how that hurts, how this
Yeah.
is painful, how I'm more tired today than I was yesterday.
Yep.
Did I have
Yep.
enough carbohydrates before? Really, I probably shouldn't be like, just total junk stuff. And I think that the impetus hits for me, like in a weight workout, 10 minutes in. I'm like sweaty already. I'm like, okay, I might as well just become a total red hog. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I get it. It's so interesting because I think we all, even Serene says that hit, like you said, breaking through that first 5 minutes.
What's your head game in the first 5?
First 5 minutes are horrible. Do you know what natural thoughts
Yeah, I
come
wanna
into my
hear it.
head?
I wanna hear
Nobody should be doing this. This feels wrong. Why am I doing this? Like all of that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
just so you guys know, listening, it's to all humans, you know.
I just think my body, like my brain even says, your body, Pearl, is not cut out for this. Like all these
You know what's
sorts
funny?
of things.
You have positive thoughts. You have negative thoughts.
Yeah, but I have to break through them.
I have negative thoughts when I'm starting as well, I guess, sort of. My thoughts, like I remember my thoughts when I'm not wanting to enter the workout or whatever it is good. That's hard. My brain says it's kind of a tough love guy, and it says, oh, that's right, you don't want this. That's right. You don't. That's right. You don't want to succeed deep down, and that's and
wow.
it's scary. Like I have to
Yeah.
scare myself.
Oh, you have to do some tough coach.
Some coaching.
You're
It's
a
like,
tough
oh,
guy.
that's right. You want to go back to how
Yeah.
it's been.
Yeah.
You've peaked in your life. Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like antagonistic.
It's like a bit of a
and
man
sarcastic.
Up thing. No,
Yeah.
that's funny, but
Yeah.
I have those thoughts. They come in, but I have to replace
Yeah.
them. And one thing that you said, Danny, has helped me so much because I've tried many combat thoughts. Okay, well, I'm not going to think that, even though it comes. I'm going to think something else. But the biggest helpful one was something you said. You said, you know, when you're doing resistance training, you're just doing one thing at a time. You're focusing, and all the other stress goes away. It's actually like an honor to just focus on one thing, and it's beautiful. And as you're doing that, other stresses just fly away. Just focus on one thing. So I'm like, Pearl, this is your stress relief. Just
love
one
that.
rep. Look at that beautiful rep. Focus on it. You
Yeah.
know, and so it's helped me, and I just start getting in the zone. But boy, when it's finished, I'm so glad.
Yes. And
Yeah.
another thing that I do too is I read once about how people live in terrible pain, live in agony, and even the toughest of meds can't even touch it. And maybe they don't want to take opiates all the time, so that they're just taking the ones that, you know, aren't that strong, but that it's not cutting the pain. And they've had incredible success with people, you know, playing mind games with pain, and like imagining the pain getting further and further away and getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's still there, but it's outside of them. You kind of put it out, you know, and there's all different things you can learn for birthing and everything. I don't actually do all of that, but I have a little mind game that's similar. When I'm up to that, say there's 10 reps and 10 to failure, and on the 10th, you really can't do an 11th proper, right? In proper form. When I get about 6 reps in, you're getting to the difficult stuck zone in the bottom of the squat and things. Instead of like counting like, you know, 6, because I'm thinking I've got 7, I've got 8, I've got 9, I've got 10, this stinks. I just say one thing that really helps, and it's like, I just say to myself, it's just deep massage.
Yeah.
So instead of feeling the stuck pain that feels oppressive like 10,000 camels in my thighs, I start thinking deep massage, because people love deep massage,
Yes.
but deep massage
Yes.
hurts.
Does.
It's
Yes.
a nice Chinese torture from the little old Chinese ladies that are like doing that
Yeah.
pain on you with their, you know, knuckles or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just say, it's just deep massage. And-
Okay, you just triggered and reminded me of one of my like number one things to keep pressing through the reps, right?
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to get to like push up number 15 in the set and just be like, I think we're good. But
Yeah.
really you need to be at like 18, just depending on where you're at in your,
Yeah.
you know, for me. But one thing I actually do, and I actually believe this on like a physics level, so allow me to become weird. I actually, as it starts to get hard, I imagine that the pressing and flexing of the muscle is the actual physical work that is going to land me a role in like a dream movie. It's
Yeah,
it's
you
not that I
envision it.
need to contact the right casting director. It's not that I need to go to the right party and meet the right people. All I got to do is push-ups. All I got to do is the work. And so like
So it takes on a lot more meaning then.
it gives so much meaning and so much energy
Yeah.
to keep moving forward when you actually believe that there, and I'll picture shockwaves popping out and reverberating into the galaxy
Yeah.
and hitting successful things and things that I'm wanting to see in my future and bring into my life, that this is the actual work that does it.
Do you know what? I love it. And it's very similar. I relate because this is TMI, both of these things. But when I was having my babies, I could go through all natural labor. That didn't scare me, but the needles used to scare me. Getting the blood drawn, I'd put it off and put it off and put it off. When they finally would draw the blood, I'd have to do a mind game. So instead of just before they put the needle in, I would just say, I'll do anything for my baby. Because it was about this pregnancy. I was taking blood work, so I'll do anything for my baby, right? Yep. And so, and then now I had to go get my blood test now for hormones to check, check the levels. And now I say, I don't know why, because I give myself needles. Like for peptides.
No, but it's other people's needles.
And it's like, it's just where they put it in just vulnerable vein place inside your arm. So I just say, I'll do anything for my marriage, because to me, it's like I'm spicing up the marriage. I'm keeping my hormones there.
And then does it change your brain space?
It changes my brain space. I have no pain. I have no fear. It's like what I will do for something. And you're like, what I will do for your career, for
whatever. It's so interesting. We're talking about the power of the mind. I think that's where we're going to, because we haven't discussed number 3. We've discussed 2 things. We have discussed the benefits. What makes you become a becomer? Mm-hmm. What you will experience. The benefits will change you forever.
And
2, the micro habits. 3, identity. But we've come to this already, but I want to say something on this topic.
Identity, you mean the mind game?
No, I think what if you could? It's a whole what if you could thing. I mean, a becomer, to be a bed maker, as I've said so many times, I am a bed maker now.
I know, but one of our points has to be mind gaming.
Yes, this is part of it, and this leads to identity.
Right, leads to identity.
So, and I'll give you an example.
Point 4 then. Identity's point 4. Because
mind game before identity,
Yeah, because first of all, we had... What was the first one you said?
That was the benefits you're going to experience.
Yes. And then we had micro steps, like putting your yoga pants on, putting the shoes on first thing, like knowing where your court jar is, because it's just
we didn't know we'd have points in this party.
And number 3 was mind gaming, and number 4 is identity.
Okay, because mind gaming leads to identity. Okay, this is so funny because I think I've shared this before, but I used to be a fearful person. One of the things that I was terrified of was flying in a plane. And I would get on that plane because I'm not going to stay home when I have to be somewhere, but I would literally be in horrible fear. I would envision ourselves, all these people up in this tin can in the sky thinking, this is not right.
Did you picture the spiral?
Yeah, I could just see us going. My imagination would just see everything that could go wrong.
Did you see the metal cutting through your calves? When
always the legs, always the legs get pushed up into my chest, and my legs are sticking out of my chest or something horrible. But it's the same thing. Like what happens when I work out, all the worst scenarios come. Like, I'm not created for this. My body shouldn't be doing this. But I'd think the same thing in a plane. People shouldn't be up in the sky. You know, it's just stupid.
We are tempting God.
Yeah, but then I decided, okay, enough of this, because my cortisol was rising and I was just being a stinking fearer, And so I thought, okay, what? So Serene knows I did this. We've talked about it here.
I'll do it now. You taught me.
I mean, it works so well. I was like, but what if this plane was my saving grace and we're being chased by terrorists on the ground and the plane picks us up and and this is the safest place on earth.
We're the ones that got away, she said to me. She said, Serene, this is the getaway plane. We got away. And everyone else down there is being decapitated.
ISIS is getting them.
No, I do the same. I was just at war and this was the plane that picked up all the soldiers and we're headed home and it's over.
And
that's
the
the trick.
When the relaxing music comes and they're looking down from the helicopter, and they're holding their arm on their shoulder, and until they get to the hospital. But they're finally on the helicopter, everything's going to be great.
So I started doing that, and oh my goodness, total game changer. And then that led to the identity of I was made for flying. Now, if I haven't flown in a while, sometimes the old fears would come, and I do the 2 steps straight away. First of all, I'm being lifted up away from the terrace, and then I'm made for flying. I was made to be here. And I'm the most relaxed person, no cortisol in me. The plane shakes around, and I'm like...
So look at these decisions to shift from one state into the next. Look at the decision to take command over your own brain, your own body, which you are not. And that's a big distinction, is recognizing the body chooses the path of least resistance. But what's this other thing that is speaking to the body. Who is that other person?
Are we going to let it be that nasty, oh, you're not made for this, and you should only do 15, not 18, and we don't want that. We want it to be the voice of success and victory and
the voice of becoming, really,
the
because
voice of becoming. Thank you.
You know, I'm a flyer now. I'm a seasoned flyer. I don't
Poddy, the voice of becoming.
I don't freak out now. I make my bed now. These are just little things, but the big things for me, because it's changed who I am. I am an athlete now.
That's why the yoga pants work for a lot of people too, because it's the dress of an athletic, like it's the
athletics.
It's the wardrobe of
no,
an
I'm not. I don't
person.
compete in the Olympics. People wouldn't look at me and think she's an athlete. No, but I am, because I strength train and I do cardio and I don't like overdo it and it doesn't take over my life, but I do it. Yeah. So therefore, I will say I'm an athlete, and I love becoming. God loves for us to embrace the new. He doesn't want us sticking back in the old. Yeah. He says, behold, I have done a new thing. Yes. And we're supposed to walk in the new and never get stagnant. And I feel like I'll always be becoming.
And I want to say about becoming, which I love this word more and more as I think about it, because becoming has never arrived. And do you know what's so great about that? You never have to be that person out there. You're like, well, I'm not that, so I'm not made for this. No, because becoming is a journey. It's a process. You might be a becomer with your pink little 1 pound dumbbells. Yeah. And let's give a round of applause.
100%.
And let's be excited about that, because becoming just means you are micro stepping towards a goal. You don't ever have to arrive.
Well, I am ripped. Might not be ripped today, but I'm the kind of guy that's ripped.
Right.
I am.
And you're a whole lot more ripped than when you ate Pop-Tarts.
100%.
And when you were sitting here 3 years ago, you're whole more ripped than that. So, there's lots of becoming happening.
I had a booty do, where your stomach sticks out further than your booty do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, real talk, I really do identify as a A-lister, somebody who, works professionally on their body. And again, I feel like I took years of health reclamation, of diet modification to begin rewiring my taste buds. What tastes good now? Like meatloaf is now savory and rich and buttery when it used to be like, get your meat down, so you can get to the mac and cheese. You know what I mean? Now it's like, dude, the meatloaf is mac and cheese enough. Like it's got its own savoriness.
Yeah. Right.
Like I could be satisfied on like meat, but then the good news is I want to build, so I eat all the carbs too. Yeah. But now I'm just entering a phase going on. I've been so inconsistent for the past 2 weeks, but I just keep going like, there's not a good time. Oh, right now's a good time. Yeah. Right in the middle of stuff. Somebody's talking to me. I'm in public. I'll grind push-ups out on downtown Franklin Square and not care, because it's like, man, every one I do is one step closer. Like God is listening. I believe in I believe in the physics of it. I believe in the magic of deciding who you are and what you're going to do in this world.
And I love that. And I love you hit on that where you were just saying, maybe now's a good time. Let's just push out 10 push-ups. It is lovely if you get to a point where you can have a set amount of time, whether it's for a push 10 or push 25, or it becomes a hobby in your life and you're like, this is my spa time. I'm going to take 45 minutes 4 times a week. This is my special time. Yeah. You may never get to that. Who cares? You don't have to be becoming in this area. But if you only can weigh yourself to fitness, that's awesome too. 10 times a day doing 2 minutes.
Yeah. I know, it's brilliant. Do you know
that's 20 minutes right there of awesome.
Do one right now. Yeah. Do 1 rep as we speak.
And that's what happened. When you're down there, you might as well do 2.
Yeah, and that book, Many Habits, changed me, because I couldn't do a push-up when I first started that book.
Yeah.
And then he just said, he changed his life through doing 1 push-up.
Just 1.
And
that
don't led
get
to
put
more.
Off,
and of course,
because, sorry, Pearl, would you like to finish what you had to say?
Well, I did have some
to you,
things.
Pearl.
And I was gonna say, listening to your journey, Danny, I feel like with becoming, we also don't want to we want to bring you to a place where you are becoming, because some of you, come on, tough love, have just got the knowledge in your head and you keep listening to us and not applying it. Some of you are, of course, but we're just talking to those of you who just need that little kicky in the pantsy, okay? The other side of it that we don't want to bring today is a whole bunch of should and pressures and overwhelm. Because we're all on a journey. I feel like I know the journey so much in my life that I have to be little by little. Serene, you're more of a big bite person.
Well, do you know how little by little the strength training has been in my life?
That's true.
Super little by little.
Yeah.
Because I really care about doing things smart too with exercise. So I remember, in the baby years, I wouldn't even pick up a weight till 6 months post, and start body weight all of that time, and then get light, and then go.
But I mean,
I wouldn't be in the thick of it till a good year post.
We said to people when we started this podcast, we said, you've been sitting and listening to us for a while, and we've been talking about resistance training, and some of you haven't started it. I want to say this. Yes, some of you are ready to start, and we're going to give that little kick in the pantsy. But if you're new here, it's not like you have to do everything at once. Get the eating thing down, sure. Start walking. If you're very, very unfit, you don't have to start into my push 25 or do a big routine or do anything like that. These precepts, when I think about Danny's journey, going from Pop-Tarts to learning to like greens, to having to fix his gut, it's been years. We've sat here for close to 7 years, Danny. And I mean, you're the most thriving in health I've ever seen you, and you've even got greater things coming. But it wasn't overnight, and you didn't big bite at all, and neither did I.
Yeah, it was all 6 of those years.
Yeah. So what we're saying is yes, be a becomer, but you don't have to become by tomorrow.
Yes, I 100% agree. I was just thinking about my husband's journey too, because he's a person that always wanted to get into exercise.
Yeah.
He had the knowledge. He had it down. But it was just he had a busy life, and it was just hard for him to kind of put it in.
What was the thing that changed then?
Well,
it was the GLP-1.
Maybe it was the GLP-1. It was, because he started feeling actually good enough. The inflammation started going down, and it gave him enough of an impetus.
Yeah. You like that word impetus too.
No, you know what else, Serene? The power of example too. I mean, living with you. You can't just live. You know what? She's gonna thankfully never hear this. But she's like,
Mrs. V.
Yeah, Mrs. V. She's like, you're not going to get all hot, and I'm just going to be like an average Franklin mom. not on my watch.
Hey, an average Franklin moms are pretty high up there on the scale too.
Yeah, but you know what she means, right?
Yeah.
Like she's like, you're not just going to go all like look your best that you can look, and I'm just going to do nothing. She's like, I can't be married to some A-lister and I'm a normal person. We have to go together. And so she's, without me telling her to, suggesting anything she should do, she's on her own like grind right now.
See,
That's
that is
great.
such an influence, and we're writing something, and I'm not going to give it away, Serene, but
No, but it's so true, because we contend together, and I think it's and I think he did come into the gym once and said, I can't have you lifting more.
That's
than
what
me.
Exactly. You're not going to go be some hottie in this
He's
world.
just like, I can't have you lifting that much more. Like, of course, he's way stronger than me even without training.
That got me too. When I found out
when
you were
Serene could curl 25.
when you were curling 25, I was like, 25 literally hurts my tendons. That has to change. So I curl 25, no problem now.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
amazing. See, it's not even that much. But no, I want to say though.
She just put him down.
No,
He just put Danny down.
No, I meant.
I
I didn't mean it that way. I just meant for you. Like, you're a guy. You can do this. You're incredible. That's getting worse.
No,
It's getting worse.
It's definitely worse.
What I'm trying to say though is he started with just getting his props. If you want to just start,
That's
by
true. He
just
kept
getting your
buying
props,
things.
because when he brought things, he was telling his brain, "I'm a gym rat. I'm a gym rat."
I'm that
Oh
guy.
my
Just
goodness,
started-
this story is so funny. It's so true. He built a gym before he even worked in the
Lift it.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
And he was like looking at the YouTubes, and I could see him sitting over there on the couch, and it was all these like gym rats with their tie-dye big pantaloon pants, and their wife beater shirts, and they're going on about what equipment's better than this equipment. He was looking at all the reviews. He was a gym rat before he even became.
You
fit.
actually get the dopamine hit from buying the equipment.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
You know, you got to be careful because
And now he's got this huge gym, right? It's massive. It's state of the art.
I have to see
He
it.
has to use it.
Has to.
So he does.
And
He's
you
in there all
just
the
said,
time.
wasn't it before we started this party or during it? You said you've bought a rack and everything.
Yeah, well, I'm ordering it when I get home.
Yeah, you're not going to buy a rack and not use it, Danny, because it's expensive.
But
Yeah.
people listening though,
Exactly.
even if you have a corner of the floor where your children homeschool and you have to step on Lego and like you're in agony and you can't fully do a star jump because your arms don't have enough room to go all the way, you can still do it because that's how we did it for years.
Oh,
Yeah.
I only have a gym in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a corner and I had a couple of kettlebells.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm investing in a rack. You know, these racks can be like $3,000. I found one that has killer reviews for $450.
Wow.
4 posts, all the stuff, all the things. You
That's
still got to buy the
amazing.
weights, but like
Yeah.
the rack. And when I was looking at this, like Facebook Marketplace, $20 up in Bumtree, Tennessee, or whatever, you know, and it was all rusted out and stuff. And when I looked at it, I thought, I don't want to look like that.
Yeah.
You know, and then I looked at this orange steel
Yeah,
rack.
instead,
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to be built by that machine right there.
Uh-huh.
That's what I want.
If that's your personality, you have to go with it. Because
Yeah.
to me, when I first started kettlebell training, the impetus I'm really
I need to look up
you are
impetus.
crushing
Impetus.
the lexicon.
Okay, so, well, it just means it gave me like inertia.
Okay.
There,
Okay.
inertia.
Impetus.
The reason what I did was I brought the white chalk that you see
Impetus.
the athletes on the Olympic Games.
Oh,
So I
nice.
put my hand on white chalk and I gave it a
Impetus.
clap. You
Yeah.
know how they give it a clap and the
That
dust goes in the air?
Yeah.
It was all the excitement I needed. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
I was stronger.
It's magic powder.
You know, I was an athlete because I have gym chalk.
Yeah.
So buying the gym
Yes.
chalk was the game changer for me.
Oh.
The orange rack was the game changer.
You know what
for
gets
you.
it for me too? I'll put on the fingerless gloves.
Oh, yeah. I got some of those.
Which somehow make the wrist more mighty.
Yes, they do.
And then I'll be in those gloves and I'll hike up the sides a little bit and I'll get in there and just start,
yeah.
and you know you get the pump too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
you're unnaturally big just from that first rep. And
Hey.
the mirror is important too. I get the mirror.
Mirrors change everything. So I put mirrors in my home gym,
Yeah.
and my form has gotten so much better.
Yep.
My form was
it's
horrible,
not vanity
horrible,
people.
horrible.
You have to look at it because you can think, oh, I've got stellar form, and you're like,
Oh, it's terrible.
My knees were like always going in. I didn't know my shoulders were rounding,
Yeah.
and you know we filmed some of these before I even had a mirror in my own gym, and so now since I've done that,
see
my
the film.
my later push 25s are better form than my beginning ones. Hey, impetus, the force or energy with which a body moves. Hit the booster coil before the flywheel loses all its impetus. So yeah, you're right, Serene. Good on you.
no, it gives kind of like a when you pull back on the arrow, you know, on the bow and
Yeah.
arrow, it gives me that pull back so that instead of just throwing an arrow, it gives me that inertia. And
Yep.
I don't know. I am a prop girl. I've always been a prop girl.
Yeah, you have. You
Yeah.
have.
You can get into character with props.
Yeah, so that's why, like, this is so weird. This is so TMI.
Come
this
on.
is so weird. This is the journey
It's
into
time.
the weird serene brain. Who cares? Like, who cares anyway? But
No, I've
if
got
I've
my
just had a really
knapsack.
great day going to Sprouts, and normally I go to Aldi's, but if I've gone to Sprouts and I've brought my special Hungarian beetroot sauerkraut, and I've brought some special mushroom chaga, you know, like rejuvenating drink or something, I'll open the fridge from time to time and imagine I was a stranger that's just
Yeah.
walked in my house, opening their fridge.
Fridge pride.
Oh, these people, they must be really into health. Like, they're just- so this is what
Yeah.
I do. Like I will run up to my gym and look at it occasionally. I don't have any business being there. Very worked out. It just gives me impetus. It's like, oh yeah. It's
Yeah.
Workout people live
You know,
here.
we've talked about we've talked
That's
about
right.
grocery carts a lot, but you know that's the micro habits, right? What you're putting into your grocery cart is going to be what you eat for the rest
Yeah.
of that week.
Yeah.
And it's huge for visual stimulation when you're putting those blueberries in there, when you're putting that salmon, when you're putting your fresh proteins.
You imagine what a stranger is going to think about you when you look at the
Oh,
card.
big time. Like when I'm checking out, I'm thinking the thoughts of that person checking me out, checking checking my food out. I'm imagining their thoughts about my food, and it's
Oh
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're saying this is what success looks
And
like.
it's not vain or pride. I think it's all mental health.
It
actually.
is.
It's mental health.
It's mental health. It's mind speak.
It helps me love my food more.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they think that she's eating really healthy. And do you know what I think? I think in my head, I'm going to try that because she looks healthy. So I'm going to put that in my grocery cart.
Yes.
Like I'm thinking I'm sharing the love in this world.
Yeah, you're-
Because I want to, it's not like I'm
not
far
a
from this
vain-
world. I'm
no.
not trying to be a Barbie doll or anything. I've got way lots of flaws and stuff. But I feel like
like
I'm
it,
representing health. I've
Yes.
gained, I'm 53 and I feel like I'm doing well.
Yes.
And I want to share that with other people by showing them what foods I eat.
Yes.
Is that prideful?
No, I can
No.
hear Montel right now. This is how we do it.
Yeah.
While you're talking.
Yeah, and it's not proud because when I have those little mind speaks about, oh yeah, workout people live here and all that, it's just cements. Okay, this is what I do. This is how I live. This is where we live.
This is where we live. Do it. I mean, how does Hitch do it? I can't really do it.
Not at all.
But just show me because I'm a white girl. Can't
No, it's just
dance.
90 degrees left,
Oh, see,
Right.
that's it.
left. No.
Oh,
Keep
what?
them 90 straight. Boom. Boom.
Is this it? Now I
Boom.
feel it.
Now put a little rhythm. Yeah, just if you just
When
get
do you start
stiff,
the
Oh,
Left.
see, I was doing it the other
right?
way.
Just stay stiff at first until you get the pattern.
What if I don't want to stay?
Well, then you can move.
Okay.
When you're comfortable.
But are you
Yeah,
allowed
yeah.
to put your
Yeah, you
teeth
can-
over
you
your
can-
lips?
Boom. Boom.